Hey, welcome to Unpack Ray. I'm your host, Norris Pope Johnson. We have a special co-host coming back in that my man Phil said he'll stick around for the last hour. So we have a special co-host for today, and we'll be talking to Brenda Williams about her book. I'm excited. I've been knowing this young lady for a long time on social media, and she is a great person. So let's bring her on in, Miss Brenda Williams. Hey! How are you doing, love?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, all shit snakes. All snaky doodles. The guy
What?
on Zoom police. All right, let's try that again. How are you doing, love?
I am well. How are you?
I'm always outstanding. I'm always outstanding. First and foremost, let's get into this book. What's the title? What made you want to write it? And how are the sales going? Because you say you just now came back out with it.
The sales are actually doing very, very well. This is the name of the book. It is called Explicit Expressions by Brenda Williams. And it has like a lot of erotic stories in it. And I wrote it because I was doing like little stories online. And then an author found me and he was like, "Are you published?" And I was like, "No, I just write for fun." So he was like, "Well, go ahead and do me some stories and let me see what we can do." And here I am. So this is the book.
So, what are the intimate details in this book that you wrote?
There's a lot of different stories. They all have a beginning, all have an end, and they all lead to the same thing. A lot of people refer to it as porn on paper, is what they say, because it's just that. It's unfiltered porn on paper is what they call it. But a lot of people seem to enjoy it.
All right, Phil, you got a question?
So did I hear that correctly? Porn on paper?
That's that's what they call it, porn on paper. That's what
Okay.
they say.
So you okay, okay. Give me an example of a story on paper, a poem.
Okay. Let's see. I can read. Let's see if I can find a short one to read.
Something small. I'm just curious.
Because I'm just not the best at this. I can write it, but I'm not the best at expressing it. Trust me, I'm not.
All right. By the way, kids, cover your eyes and your ears. If anybody is young about to listen to this show, cover your ears, kids, cover your ears. All right, Brenda, we're ready for you.
Okay. So this one was called His Birthday. So one day he ran into someone. She was so beautiful, he didn't know what to do. He just looked at her and stared at her. She kind of looked back at him and he went on his way. So he went home and him and his wife was laying down. And as they was laying down, he heard something, but he wasn't sure what he heard. His wife had arranged for this young lady to come to his house as a gift to the husband. The husband had always dreamed about having two women be with each other. So this was his dream. He didn't even really want her, he just wanted them to be together. So as the night went on and things got a little bit quiet, the young lady comes in. She's laying there next to the husband, the both of them in the bed, him not knowing because his back is turned. He has her on his back, on her back. She slowly kisses and sucking certain parts of her. This making her moan, which makes the husband in return turn around and watch. He's laying on his side now, facing them, but he has one eye open, and he's just watching patiently. She goes down to the young lady, lifts her legs. As she begins to suck out the sweet juices from her, she begins to moan uncontrollably, waking up the husband. He leans up and says, "What's going on?" She says, "Baby, it's your birthday. I want to surprise you. Now lay here and let us do you." As one sits on his face, the other sits on his cock, riding in slow motion as they begin to kiss. This is a dream that he's always wanted, but today was his birthday. She looked down at him and kissed him and said, "Happy birthday, baby. This is for you." So that's one of the stories that's in the book.
First and foremost, best birthday
exactly
present
right.
ever.
Happy birthday, right?
Happy birthday to whoever concerned. And somebody gonna be at home on YouTube or right now currently on their live.
This
There you go with the Andrew drop. Now, somebody gonna be at home that's doing some things to himself. Now, Brenda, you're a very sweet person. How do you put yourself to this type of mindset to come up with these type of stories?
Um, I have a very good imagination. When I used to actually work in the office before the pandemic, I've been working at home since the pandemic. So when I used to work in the office, I used to write stories. And so I told this girl one day, I was like, I'm gonna write this story about us. And she was like, no, you better not do that. I said, no, I'm gonna write it. And I want you to read it. And so I wrote the story and read it. And she looked at me. She said, did this happen? I was like, no, this didn't happen. That's the type of imagination I have. Right now, I've been doing it, came back out because I went to a swinger party. A lady called me and she was like, hey, I heard you got a book. I heard it's a nasty one. We need an author. I was like, okay. I went. They bought the book. The book has resurfaced since then, and it's just like I've had people buying it and asking me about it. Also, it's at a few different couples retreats. They offer it to couples. It's something good to suggest to couples. Let's just face it, sex is very important in a marriage. In any relationships, sex is very important. So if you're not having the right sex, that can put a strain on a relationship. And not to say that that's all relationships about at all. But if you're not getting what you want from it, it's a strain. So what they say to the husbands and wives who have come and had problems, and this is something they give to them in a gift as they're leaving. And they tell them, hey, each night y'all sit, y'all read one of these stories, see what it does for you. And I've gotten some really, really, really good reviews that way.
Now, why do you believe that being intimate with your partner is very important in a relationship?
It's the foundation. Honestly, let's just face it, it's the foundation. If a wife is unsexually satisfied or a husband is unsexually satisfied, that wife or that husband is going to go travel until they're satisfied. Nobody sits and stays unsatisfied. If there's anybody listening or anybody in the panel that's going to disagree with me, then you're not human. Nobody sits and be unsatisfied. Now, there's some women who just take care of themselves. We got a whole 10 fingers, just like y'all got 2 hands. But at the end of the day, you want that type of enjoyment. You need that type of commitment. You need that type of intimacy. Intimacy is very important, plays a big role in relationships.
So how I want to ask you this. Are you married?
I am. I have actually been married for close to 33 years. One
Really?
of the things, yes, 33 years.
So let me ask you, how real are some of these experiences in your book within your marriage? Are they all just stories?
Hey.
I mean, at some point, these come true.
Hey, this is Unpack Radio now.
A lot of these stories are true. Let's just be real. A lot of these stories are straight up true. When I first, like, I ain't gonna lie, I done made some new stories recently, but I'm working on a second one. A lot of this stuff is true. You got to be able to experience it. There's a one story in here, that to me is near and dear, and the reason why it's to me is near and dear is it's about self-love. It's about being able to love your body and appreciate your body and be able to do it on your own. I try to preach that to people all the time because I have a few friends that are just unhappy, that are miserable. And I tell them all the time, you have to love yourself before anybody else is going to love you. If you can't fully please you, anybody else going to please you.
Now, Brenda, do you consider yourself almost like a counselor or a communicator to the people that help them realize that they need to fulfill their sexual desires?
Absolutely. Because I have a radio show. I have Blog Talk Radio that I air every single Thursday night. And we've had a few topics on that. Just self love. So, you've had women come on and say how they don't feel this way, they don't feel that way. And I tell them, listen, people have conversations with me and they're like, I don't do big women, I don't do big women, but you're flirting with me. Oh, but not you. No, you can't just decide, pick and choose. A lot of women don't understand that it's the way they carry themselves, it's their demeanors, and it's how other people see them. Again, it goes to self love. You have to love yourself and you have to be committed to yourself to be for somebody to be committed to you or someone to love you.
Let me ask you this. You mentioned the swingers, right?
Mhm.
And we're going to speak on now the swinging thing. If you can break it down in the simplest form so that Pope followers can understand, no feelings attached, right? When married,
What
that
it is,
swinger thing is married couples, not just single people, preferably married couples because they don't want the feelings to be attached. It's just there for that moment. So what happens when you done hit her a little better than you hit the wife, or the sex is better with the swinger partner than it is with your mate? Does that, because I'm sure it's like you got to. I mean, you can't go into these situations with feelings, right? After,
correct.
after this.
Correct. What it is it's like-minded adults. What it's the term of it is like-minded adults that like to have fun and understand that sex and love are two different things and they definitely should be separated. When you're going into a swinger type thing, you have to realize that you are the reality, that is the fantasy. So the swinger world is nothing but fantasy. So when I watch these people at these parties, I'm like, wow, how could they, not how could they, but I'm just like, wow, I'm kind of speechless. But for us and for me and my husband, it's about us making money. It's about them buying books, about them doing raffles, about them following me, about them coming to my show. But with that, it's just like-minded adults having fun. Sex is never required. If it happens, it does, but it's never required.
Very interesting.
Right.
I'm learning something new today.
Yeah.
Now, Brenda, uh, what made you want to dip your toe in the world of writing explicit books and swinging?
I'm 52. It's time to live. We live our whole lives in a bubble, in a shell, in a fake life, in an imaginary life. And when you look at it and you think about it, you know, just like the polyamorous people, it takes a bunch of them to build a household. And the way the world is going these days, four incomes are better than two. So if you can get that out of it and still have a good life, still be able to travel, still be happy, why not?
Interesting.
Okay.
Phil, you have a question?
I think she's pretty much the. Now, what would you tell people that want to get into this but just don't know how? I mean, don't go into these swinger parties or these menage a trois with feelings, right? It's just a fantasy.
I would say go in with an open mind. First of all, you have to have an open mind because before you know it, somebody gonna run past naked, and you ain't gonna know what to do. You're gonna be like, "Did I just see that?" I say go in with the open mind with no expectations other than networking, fellowshipping with certain friends. These people become your friends. They're not just people you have sex with. You have them over for vanilla nights, play cards, and you'll be surprised the people like the parties that we've been to that have sold out whole full hotels, like a whole hotel. And I mean, these are people from all over the world, lawyers, doctors, teachers, just about everybody. It to me, it's a bunch of adults playing in a big playground. We have enough stuff that we're told no to in our daily lives. This is someplace we can go and just be free in a non-judgmental environment.
Interesting. Now, Brenda, what made you want to start your podcast / radio show?
I had it a few years back and I stopped only because I got into writing, got into a play, just got into so much at once. So much at once. I just had way too much going on. And so I stopped. But then I had been asked from several people, hey, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? When are you coming back? So I just was like, okay. And so I came back.
Now, what is your mission with the podcast?
With my mission with the podcast is we just have we it's really to help people to grow, to give people advice, to just help people. We have a lot of topics. We've had, child abuse. We've had people on there crying because they've been abused, been able to share their stories. Just it's to give people an outlet. Give people the name of my radio is Speak Your Mind Radio. So mine is to just give people an outlet to let it out, to talk about topics they want to talk about, and that they can talk about freely.
Now, what is the craziest story you may have heard while doing your podcast?
Oh my goodness. I heard we had a show on hygiene, body hygiene, and we gave some people a task, some people some stuff to try. And as we gave some people some stuff to try, a girl for some reason decided to try. We was telling them about like pineapples and how you drink pineapple juice, pure 100% pineapple juice, which is extremely healthy for you. So we was telling her, I'm sorry guys, I'm moving to get a charger so my phone don't die and they don't listen to this. We was telling her about pineapples. Well, she came back the next week and apparently she stuck a whole pineapple up her and had to go to the hospital. She stuck big chunks of pineapple up her and had to go to the hospital. That is the craziest story.
Now, was
And
somebody supposed to get this out?
she had to go to the hospital to get it out because it was up there so far.
But no, I'm talking about somebody else. Was she, was this a...
Yeah, well,
No, she was doing it herself. She was doing it herself. I don't know what possessed her to do that.
what the hell was she trying to do?
Right, what was she...
I don't understand. What was the mission with this one?
I don't know what her mission was, but apparently it didn't work.
That's fucking crazy.
Wow.
I heard of people eating pineapples. I heard
that's
of
what I'm
people
saying.
trying to drink pineapple juice.
Right.
But I never heard nobody sticking a pineapple in any type of their surface in their body.
Yeah.
So the sweetness can be as sweet as they wanted it to be. So whoever this young lady is, please come on Unpack Radio because we have some questions. We want to know what your mission was because it sounded like it was crash and burn.
It was definitely to crash and burn. Definitely to crash and burn.
Now, what is your craziest experience that you may have seen at a swinger party that you can tell us about? Because I know this is a secretive community.
So at one party, I was getting on the elevator and this dude gets on the elevator button naked with a hat on his shoes. So I'm like, I'm trying to look up, I'm trying not to look down. I'm like, he's like, it's okay. You can go ahead and look down. I just want everybody to see what they're going to get. And I just was afraid to look down. I wouldn't look down. I refused. I refused. To me, well, no. Okay, so I walked in on this couple playing. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what she did to him. She did something to him. But like he made this crazy horse song, like a horse sound and flew off of her. Like just flew off of her onto the floor. And I walked in and I was like, I don't know what was going on there. I had to walk out. This was at there's a club in Fayetteville, and I think there's one in Charlotte or Atlanta too. It's called YKW. And it's a secret club. You go in there, I think the membership's like $50, something like that. But that particular club has rooms. They have rooms where you can go and you can play in, and you can keep the door closed, or you can keep the door open. I had a book thing at that one too, so that's how I know about all of them. Now us personally, me and my husband, we don't partake in any of it. We go to a lot of the parties because of the book. I sell the book at the parties. That's the best place they're selling right now. So if I have to be around a bunch of sexual folks to make some money, it is what it is.
Philip? You have a question?
Have you and your husband ever thought about it? Have you ever done it?
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
Nope. That's no point. Like, our sexual life is great, so it's no point. It's no point.
I still want to talk to that young lady with the pineapple. Now, Brenda, explain the reaction once you sell the book to someone and they come back and tell you their experience with the book. What type of reaction do you normally get?
You're nasty. There was a radio show host here, a local radio show host, and she came and got the book, and she was like, I just couldn't read it. There was so much going on, and I was like, it's life. It's the type of story that you want to happen, like the doctor's office one, and like the people watching the girl washing the windows, and she's definitely pleasuring herself. That's stuff that would happen in real life. So it's just, to me, I feel it's hypocritical for somebody to have a thought about my book saying it's a nasty book or saying that I'm nasty, because how did everybody get here by having sex? Nobody got here dropped off by a bird. So whether your mama was on her back or whether she was on her side, she was doing it to get you here.
Good point. Now I have a question for you and Phil, because I notice it's only in this country where we're so close-minded to nudity and sex. But other countries, I notice that they literally do the news in the buff. Like the weather lady is naked. They have no problem with the nudity. So why in this country, in the United States of America, are we so afraid of our bodies?
Right.
I don't know who want to take it first, but that's a good question to ask. Brenda?
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, you have seen photos of me from when I used to post before. You know I don't have an issue with that at all.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't claim that dude no more. That old me is dead and gone. That old me is dead and gone. I rebuke him in the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus, I rebuke him. So I don't know, lady. I don't know who you talking about. That dude is dead. He is dead.
No, that's not what I'm saying. So you don't talk about some other stuff now. Hold on. Let me finish. Well, you redeemed yourself, okay? What I'm saying is, when I used to write my short stories, I would always put a very sexy picture on the bottom. And it was something that was eye-catching, is what it was.
We got one of you. We're going to pull it up again. Hit us, right? There we go. Ta-da! Third shot. Right there with the book on the tatas. Yes. Several books are about to be sold. My man Phil said put them down for 2.
Wow.
Oh my Lord.
Well, that's a good question. I don't know why. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with it if if we all did it. I mean, I can't wait to go. I've been to nude beaches and things like that. I mean, this is us. This is you. Self
Yeah. With all that self-love. Now I did notice my guy, I follow him on Facebook. I think his name is Kevin. He used to be a pastor, and he actually switched over to Hope minister. Now he has 2 girlfriends, and he seems so. Maybe this method of being more open sexually is more beneficial to society as a whole. What do you guys think about that?
I think that's the best. I think, I don't see a problem with it. If, like I said, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? There's actually a local club here that's pretty cool that we go to. And just to see everybody and then to watch them interact, it's pretty cool. For us, I'm more of a voyeur. I like to voyeur. I like to watch. So I'll go to parties and I'll go in the rooms to watch, because I just like to watch. I'm a voyeur.
All right.
I mean, as long as it's honesty and communication. especially with those parties and feelings getting involved. I mean, you got to know what you're getting yourself into. So I think if we all are honest and we communicate, respect one another, like it should all work out.
It's going to turn out to be a very interesting episode. I'm going to have my church family out to say all the stuff we're discussing now. And I'm pretty sure a few of them going to think like, oh, Lord, I would never do that. But you had to do something to get somebody up there. You ain't just pop up one day as a innocent being. I'm not falling for it. Now, have people try to shun you in your own community for the book, for being so open-minded? Do you get dirty looks at the grocery store?
No, so I did have a play. I did have a play about my book. Made the worst mistake of having it here because there were a lot of closed-minded people. And I mean, I had radio, the local radio was talking about it. I had a DJ. I had a very erotic dancer. She danced behind, and this was my idea. She danced behind a blue silhouette light with very sexy music on and a white sheet. So the only thing you see was her body. The sexiest thing I've ever seen. So she did that for the play. Then I had somebody doing a voiceover reading one of the stories, and then behind that same white sheet had two people interacting. They were not naked, they were in leotards, and he was in a leotard that showed, that had the slong hanging out of it. And then she was in like a bodysuit. So it looked like they were naked, but they wasn't. And they interacted it, and I got good reviews, but they were closed-minded to it.
Phil, you have a question?
No, Mom.
The next follow-up is, why do you believe that? You're in the South, right?
Yes.
So you think it's just because you're in the heart of the Bible Belt, or you think it's just because people in general are so close-minded they can't accept what people want to be open-minded?
They're closed-minded. This is the South. This is probably the last place that marijuana will be legalized. So yeah, they were. I believe that they're very closed-minded. I believe that they're very. It's the Bible Belt. It's the Bible Belt. That's all I'm gonna say. It's the Bible Belt.
Now, I notice every time I go down in the South and I see a big ass sign for like Adam and Eve and sex toys and all this other stuff. So why are we pretending like we don't do these things down in the South? I see it all the time. I
I have
mean,
no idea. The biggest perverts are down here. Forgive me, guys, for saying it, but the biggest perverts are down here. Trust me.
hey man, you got some dudes running around town with 9-inch dildos and stuff. I ain't gonna mention no names. But at the end of the day, my method of thinking is the problem with probably people from the South and people in general is most people want to pretend like we don't all have needs, and you don't want to fulfill your needs, so you try to hide them. But that equals up to a lot of pain, because at the end of the day, you end up doing something stupid when you could have just released all that fucking pain.
That's why I say it goes with being honest, man, with yourself, and really that communication piece is big. Especially when we're talking about sex and relationships.
Yes, I agree.
So let me ask you though, Brenda. You never brought another woman inside the bedroom with you and your husband, or another?
Of course.
Oh, you have.
That's normal.
Another
That's
man.
a norm.
What about another man?
No.
Oh, why not?
Well, why not? Right.
What's the problem?
Because I have everything I need here. Like I'm good.
Oh, okay.
You might want a birthday gift.
Nah.
You might want the gift and keep on giving. You know what I mean? You might want your feet and all in your back at the same time.
But you know what? Why is it okay in society for two women and one guy, but when it comes to the women with two men and one woman is like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not. No.
It's actually not a problem here. I was given that option. I'm just not interested.
But it does happen.
It does. It happens at the parties. I've seen it at the parties.
In a former life, Phil, in a former life, I don't claim this dude no more, but that other dude saying some crazy shit.
Yeah.
The other dude, at one event, he white girl. She comes with a white husband, and literally she was getting gang banged by like 8 black dudes because that was their fantasy.
Whoa.
So it does happen.
Yeah.
It does happen.
It
Now,
does.
I'm not gonna claim no responsibilities for that type of stuff. Like I said, been saved. Thank you, Father God, for grace and mercy. Now, Brenda, my main question is, because it's almost like we got a little bit of time, but I like to get to the heart of it. How do it make you feel when you put a smile on a woman's face and she said, I had the best time of my life with your book and the ride was nice? How does that feel? When somebody come and say, I had the best time with your book might be even a little sticky when they say it.
I mean, I've had men send me pictures of them, the book all sticky. And I'm like, okay, well, you paid for it. At first it used to bother me. It did. It did because I felt like, you were messing up. You didn't really show my property any value. But then I felt like, okay, you paid for it. I already got my royalty money. Stick it all up if you want. So I did have one dude who would meet me like every other week and tell me that he needed a book for somebody, but then I never signed them. And I'm like, well, who am I signing these books to? So one day I told my husband, I was like, you know what? Like, this is weird. Like, I'm going to have you go meet him and you go give him the book. So once I had my husband go bring him the book, I never heard from him again.
Wow.
He was wearing those books out, Brenda. He was thinking about you the whole time. Wearing
Yeah.
the book out. I swear that book saying those books were saying some things, Brenda. You don't want to know, but my man was woo.
I could only imagine because one day he hit me up on Facebook and was like, I just want to taste you. I'm like, do you know I have a husband? Don't you have a wife?
Hey
You
man,
ain't even lifestyle.
Byron follow Diamond home every day. Now, Brent, that's a good question. Have you ever been stopped? I mean, from a fan or what they like to call stands. So, have you ever been stalked or harassed by anybody?
Yes. Several times. Um, several times. I've had to go so far as to threaten one and just say, hey, one more shot. If I showed you guys my block list, it would bug y'all out. Y'all be like, how you got this many people blocked? It's just that's how they are. My Facebook page, they call my phone all day. They buy the book, call me from different countries, jerking off on it. I'm like, do y'all people have anything to do? Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Does it ever get scary though? 4 years
It
of
does. It does.
keep going to details because we have millions of fans across the world, and you never know
Um,
who just may help.
I stay packing. My husband's a cop. I pack. I don't go nowhere unless I'm packed. Um, I had one dude. I worked at a job and he worked there too, and he had asked me about the book, and I had gave him the book, and I like a. It seems weird that every time I turned around, he was there, like afterwards. So I was walking down the stairs at work, and I just heard somebody coming. Something was going on with the elevator, and it's him. So I go down and he kind of corners me and he's like, I ain't stopped thinking about you. That book just did something to me. Went to touch me. I punched him dead in his face. Like I drew back and punched him in the face and then kneed him and ran off. And he got fired and was charged. But the thing about it is, like, people are crazy. Like people there's so many crazy people out there. Women, if you listening, carry mace with you. Carry mace, carry tasers, carry anything you can carry. Because people today are crazy, regardless of me being an author, just from being a woman. There's some crazy people out there.
Mm.
Why is sex so powerful? Because I mean, your best sex is what, maybe 30 minutes? If that
Mm, a good session can last a whole lot longer than that. You got
yeah,
stop
I
and
mean,
starts. You got
average, well, why is it that it's, you say that's one of the most important things, right? In a marriage or relationship. But why?
because it connects you, it builds you, it gives you something to talk about. It excites you, gets your blood flowing. And it doesn't even always have to be sex. Foreplay, you can do foreplay. Foreplay is great. You can do that and not have to always have sex, or just alone with people. Intimacy, a lot of people have lost just the simple basics of intimacy. A lot of people. You see husband and wives, one sleeping over there, one sleeping over there, some of them sleep in separate beds. Like, intimacy is so important. A lot of people, I know a lot of married people that I've spoken to recently. We had a show on this, and the question was asked: does your husband or wife give you a kiss as they're leaving, as they're coming? Do they do this? And you'll be surprised. The panel was like, no. And I'm like, why? That person can walk out that door, and that's the last time you could ever see them. Do you want to remember that you didn't give them a goodbye kiss? So that's a big part of it. Just spending time with each other, sitting down, having dinners. This is one thing that's very important. And for me to be married this long, I will share one secret that is so important. Once a month, we date each other. We meet each other out like we've not ever seen each other, never met each other before, and we date each other. And we'll meet at a restaurant. We'll go out to eat. We may go to a little club. We may go to dance. We'll go to a hotel, and we get it in. And the thing about that is so sexy is it's sexy, it's seductive, it's new, it's bringing new things in. And a lot of people don't try new things sexually. A lot of people are so closed-minded and don't want to try. If you stay on that same missionary on your back or turning around, that's nothing. You got to add much more to it.
Mm. I like that. I like that. I like the fact that you add a little mystery to your relationship, and I agree with you. I've been in the game now probably with my lady 12 years, married 5, and I realize that you do have to keep things very interesting. You have to be willing to be open with someone completely. Shout out to the first lady for dealing with my crazy ass. Now, Brenda, before we let you go, what are your keys to having a successful relationship?
Honesty, communication. Oh my goodness. Communication, honesty, loyalty, laughter. Laughter is so important. If y'all can't sit and laugh about something, then you have nothing. Um, just time, spending time with each other, talking about ideas together, trying new things. I will tell you one thing, one main thing that a lot of people shun. A lot of people shun. Um, and it's just being free. Being free, doing what you feel at that moment, and not letting something hold you back like, what are they going to think? You know what I'm saying? Doing what you feel. But it's honesty, communication, just being real, being loyal.
Phil?
I just wanted uh one I want to say this. One sex tip. That's a good one that will get us men and women going. What would you recommend?
That's a good question.
Buy my book and read it. Or read a story to each other.
I like that.
See if you can get through one story without taking off your clothes and just getting it in.
I like that. Okay.
And don't
without taking off the clothes.
Keep your clothes on when you read it.
Off the clothes.
Have all your clothes on when you read it. Sit on the side of the bed and read it. Sip some wine.
Okay.
And don't send her no pictures of the book sticky. Matter of fact, I haven't done this in a while, so I credit Brenda for today's man law. My dude. And for the love of God, never ever send a woman an unsolicited picture of yourself whacking your tallywhacker with a book in your hand. That is just totally uncalled for.
Oh, I get them all the time. I get them with no books. I get them based on my profile picture. I just don't even look at my inbox no more. I just don't.
But see, you know what it is, Brenda, because they're looking at you. I look at you as an educator. I've learned so much just talking to you during this exclusive interview on Unpack Radio. But you get the crazy ones, like you said, and they're not even that they don't read the book. They're not looking at your profile. They're not looking at your page. And what you're doing is you're educating us, in the sexual community. So that's what it is. And that's how I look at it.
Thank you. Well, thank you. I'm happy I can help.
That's a good point.
Just help me. I'll just go one of them swinger parties.
Good luck, man. Good luck. Good luck.
You would love it. You would love it. You know why you would love it? Because it's the one place that you can go and be free in a non-judgmental environment. They walk up and down the hotels. Some of them be naked. Some of them have and the women, the money they put on lingerie. I'm gonna tell you, I got 4 drawers of lingerie up there. Yes, I do, because and that's another thing. I need to give one or two more tips to the married women that are listening. Okay, I'm talking to the married women right now. Man, y'all got to keep it sexy. Y'all have to keep it sexy. Get some coconut oil up your body. Just oil it up. Send him some pictures throughout the day. He could be having a bad day. Do you know what it would do to your husband or to your boyfriend to get a sexy picture of you in the middle of the day when they're having a bad day? That's how foreplay starts. That's foreplay. Because in the back of his mind, he like, oh, when I get home, when she get home or I get home, I'm gonna tear her up. It's you have to keep it sexy. We had a party once and there was just the array of women was so beautiful. The setup of women was so beautiful. A lot of people don't believe in lingerie. Lingerie is very, very important. Very, very important because it's the foundation. Yeah, some people say take your clothes off. You're gonna take it off anyway. But trust me, lingerie, coconut oil. Remember, married women, them two things. Lingerie, coconut up. Trust me, you'll get a prize for it.
Get the party
Okay.
going. Now, my other concern with some of these parties is hopefully, we're not bringing in some weirdos and feeding and helping people feed their sexual addictions. Now, is that a concern for you as well?
No, they screen. They screen.
How
They
you
screen at those parties. They're so secretive, and they screen beforehand.
going? Oh, so you definitely know it's not some creep that's trying to get a little quickie.
Correct.
Okay.
And they charge men a whole lot more. Women to these parties are free. A couple's maybe $50, but a single man is like $75. So first of all, if he paying $75, he's somebody. You know, he you got to pay, and then there's still no guarantee that there's going to be anything you're going to get out of it.
Mm. All right. You have
But let me ask. But in these parties, are you you're talking to whoever you're interested in? How does it work?
Yeah, I mean, there's
Right.
typically a party first, like a club. We just said a club. We're dancing. You're getting to know who you want. Then again, there's pages. There's whole Facebook pages with all these people in them. So we've all been talking before the party. So we all know each other before the party. So I'll give you, for instance, when I walked up to the first one for this party to sell my book, because I had been on the page for like a month before that promoting the book, everybody was like, there's Brenda Williams, there's Brenda Williams. So everybody knew me automatically and came up and hugged me and came to my table. Um, but for the most part, there's a Facebook page that everybody's already on. So we're already knowing each other, seeing each other, posting our pictures. So nobody's walking up to strangers. Everybody knows everybody.
Hmm. Now you think that's more helpful to have that type of information up front?
Absolutely, because you can wean out the weirdos beforehand. If somebody's not, if you're telling somebody stop, stop, stop on a page and they're not, and they're still coming at you, they're still in your inbox, then you know that at an actual party, if you told that person no, he's not going to listen. So you know right away to get rid of him. So that's how they wean them out. They do that first.
All right, Brenda, my final question, then I'm going to wrap this up. What are the rules to swinging?
Good question.
No feelings, using protection. Protection's important. Condoms are a must. No feelings involved, no falling in love. A lot of them have no kissing, um, communication. If you and your wife go to a party together, we leaving together, and they make their rules up. People make their rules up before a party.
Hmm. All right, Brenda, where can we buy your book from?
You can get it on Amazon. Amazon.com. Look for the book with the sexy red lips, Explicit Expressions by Brenda Williams.
Mm. First and foremost, thank you for giving us this education because I learned a lot today. The main thing I think I learned is people need to be more open with their sexuality. Phil, what did you learn today?
Same exact thing. I want to thank you. I'm
You're
single.
welcome.
I learned a lot. I'm gonna get that lingerie though, and it's a coconut oil, right? That can be used.
Coconut oil. Yep.
Yeah, about the coconut oil. Yeah.
Organic. It has to be organic. Go get it from the cooking section in the market. Has to be the organic, unfiltered. It smells really good. It tastes really good. And you can put it on any body part of a woman and any body part of a man if you get my drift. And it makes things a whole lot prettier.
All right, Phil, as a single man, what's your final questions for our expert?
What is the next one?
Phil said he coming into the dirty south. He on his way.
You caught me off guard with that one. I don't know. I ain't look at it. I don't know.
Yeah, my man Phil said, I'm on my way. He gonna have 1 foot on the gas, 1 hand on the condoms, 1 hand on the coconut oil, and be like, somebody gonna get this. This dick! Shout out to my man Jess Drew. Oh my Lord. Brenda, thank you for it very much. I don't know how my church family going to receive this message. It may cost us some viewers this week, but hey, it was very entertaining. It was very honest and it was very open, and I learned a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, my love.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. You know, hey, you gave us about an hour of your time. You ain't had to. You could have been.
Look, I have visitors. We about to play spades and get to drinking. Look, they all looking at me out here like, what is she out there doing? Look, I'm out here in a quiet place doing my interview.
Where are you located?
South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay.
The dirty South.
Y'all see my love of my life out here, my hammock?
I see it.
I spend so much time out there. That's why I'm getting a tan.
All right, write the next book and have 2 fingers on the pen and 2 fingers on something else.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Brenda, I love you, man. Thank you for coming.
All right. You're welcome. Bye.
Salute. Oh my God, Phil. All I can say is, man, y'all keep my life interesting. My guests keep my life interesting. Before I wrap this up, next week I got my man, brother Salim, coming back on. He, as you know, he spent about 15 years in federal jail and all that crazy stuff. I got my man Wave HQ coming on. He's also have a swinger podcast, so we will get more information about the world of swinging. And I think he wrote a swinger book as well. So hey, there's gonna be back-to-back swinging. Look like we swinging this week. Look like we swinging this week. So hopefully my church family sticking in. I thank everybody who tunes in, because without you guys, I will be nothing. And without the people's support, you know, you cannot have a successful podcast.
Have you ever been,
Phil?
Have you?
Once again, man, I don't claim the devil's work, man. I don't claim the devil's work. I don't claim the devil's work, man. And I ride with Jesus. Me and Jesus, I ride, brother. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I can't help you. It's great
shows, man.
If you need that type of help, I suggest you go to Andrew and Sunshine. They got all the information you need. Shout out to them. But at the end of the day, I cannot help you, brother. That's the devil's work, man. Yeah, you can find her at Sunshine Asia LLC.
I see her all the time. I see her all the time.
That's the person who can help you with that. But right now, it's nothing I can do for you, brother. I'm a happily married man. Black men don't cheat, goddammit. Don't bring the devil's work over here. I'm out there hit you with the Ray J show. I just want to go home to my family, bro. I just want to go home to my family and love my wife. That's all I want to do, bro. All right, man. Before Phil get me a divorce and I gotta move out, I'll see y'all next week. Salute.